Okay, 30 minutes left, cool. Sorry, I fill up my phone a lot doing these things. But 15 minutes unfiltered. I'm actually redoing this one because the one I did earlier was a little bit too revealing for the moment. And I mean, you can't claim to understand marketing and branding and then make foolish decisions like that. Which kind of brings me to a point is I don't do anything without thinking about it first. Or I don't do anything without purpose, I should say. So what do I mean by that? Well, since I'm not carrying coffee, I'll show you my good side. Lord have mercy, I hate that I actually have one. But yeah, I'm used to being underestimated. And you know, part of that, when I say that, it also refers back to, you know, familiar treatment and all that good stuff. I'm not going to get into a big old damn sob story, but it does influence you. Like, I am classically trained, meaning I have classically trained to sing. And, I mean, even my softest piano carries. Like my voice right now, it carries, it fills up a room. And I mean, not as much since I let my diaphragm lose strength, but yeah, it's just I don't feel comfortable singing because my voice projects. And I'm used to criticism. After a while, you don't want criticism about something that you love. I love to sing. It's been my saving grace too many times. Kind of like I love walking outdoors in nature right now. Like, this is freaking cool. Everything is green. But one thing I was thinking about. Alright, this is where Pastor Jeffrey O. Burns comes into play, okay? I met him when he was founding the Word Center Kojic. No, why do I keep doing that? There, now we got the good angle. Ish. So, Kojic is Church of God in Christ, okay? And, I mean, I've been involved with the black community over 22 years. And part of it was, like, I've been Kojic since I was 14. Full gospel Pentecostal. You are cursed with a curse. That still haunts me. Like, just saying that right now, I feel like I need to tithe. But I had challenges publicly speaking, especially after the trauma of high school or junior high, where I cracked in front of 1,300 students on rocket's red glare of the national anthem. True story, there are 1,300 witnesses. And, I mean, straight up Napoleon Dynamite from me. And, you know, that and bullying and all that other good stuff, it has an impact over time. And plus there's criticism from family, that's why I brought that up. And I guess getting in front of people is difficult. But as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm that dude that faces every fear. Making these videos scared the heck out of me. Writing that book, The Little Autist That Did, scared the heck out of me. Seriously, it scared me. Because I tell on myself more than a man on his deathbed. But it's also towards a mission of compassion and education. In that order. In that frickin' order. Can't claim to be a Christian if you're not going to act like it. Let's just be real. Christianity isn't a club, nor is the Nation of Islam or any of that. Like, it's not a club. It's like, these are practices and beliefs. And too many people don't practice and believe. They treat it like a social gathering. And I get it, forsake not the gathering of yourselves, but I don't know. People keep twisting things. And it seems to be getting worse over the years. Yeah, I just rounded the lake. I'm going to do it again. Real quick. This is about a month and a half of growth. I've got to transplant all these suckers because they will look perfect in the optical illusion I'm going to put way over there. But no, it's going to be sick. I mean, you want to see what an autist can do in raising property value? Wait till you see. I'm about to finish Wells's run today. Our neighbor across the street is Terminal. And Warren came up with the idea, you know what, Wells's run. I'm like, dude. But no, seriously, I'm going to engineer this whole thing to where I got to do it myself so it's, royalty free, but I'm going to do a similar tone to like Mario Kart when you go through one of those blocks with a question mark. Right when you hit a certain point, like I've got to level it with the top of the golf cart that we have. But no, it's a fun little run to do. It really is. And it's got difficulty levels. I'm not joking. I mean, it's just small and minor because, I mean, we've only got about half an acre to play with, but still. And we've got trails and all of that. Public speaking. You see what I do there? I always sidetrack and talk in a circle when I don't want to talk about something uncomfortable. I'm going to have to explore the autistic community to see if that's a commonality. But public speaking was difficult. And the way that Pastor Burns got me in there was, like, number one, I was always behind the pulpit from, Dr. Satterwhite, well, he treated me like I was his armor bearer. And then Pastor Burns, I was his armor bearer. And I got to learn from them. Like, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with being a servant. Like, that's the reason that you have an armor bearer, is they are the ones basically being the assistant to the pastor, right? But you also get exposure to the industry. You get to meet people. Like when I was with Dr. Satterwhite, that's how I met Gary Sims. Gary Sims works in anti-bias training for educational institutions, but mostly workplaces. And he does that in Salem, Oregon. He's a friend of my mentor, and I met him at a church convocation. He ends up becoming my neighbor. I met his son. His son brings me over to their house, and I'm working in equity and diversity and all of that too, just a little advocacy and getting things ramped up with my first mentor. And then I find Gary Sims of Sims Consulting. And yeah, I mean, the world is small. But there's nothing wrong with being a servant, because being a servant means you get to see the people who are experienced in action. And you get to make the connections and be groomed by them. There's nothing wrong with grooming. I 100% promise you that. Professionals do it all the time, and the fact that we don't teach that more in mentorship understanding, like I just, the people that are smart know how to groom and know that they have to groom. But public speaking was difficult. But eventually, like, there was the Phoenix conversation, which through the connections that I was developing just on my own through Pastor Burns, I got in with, I think it was, no, it wasn't Pastor Eason. It was, I can't remember the pastor's name, but anywho, he starts the Phoenix conversation, or Phoenix conversation party. And I kind of came along to, okay, if the conversation's getting slow and dull, start a fire. Because at that time, I could do that very easily. I still can. But I was so self-conscious because I'm just used to criticism and kind of don't want to walk into situations inviting it, but at the same time, I mean, it's something that you've got to face your fears. The more fears you face, the easier they become. But I was thinking about something. Okay, number one, total professional lady crush, right? Nicole Scherzinger. Like, she knows how to perform. She's got a wonderful voice, classically trained. And, I mean, I've seen her performances. Like, I kind of regret that Men in Black 2 was like the only movie I've seen her in. I kind of regret that. But I also get it. Acting is a dedicated, it requires dedication. And she is looking in a different direction from what I can see. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it when she got up and she sang "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." Oh, I see right now I want to sing it, but I'm also thinking about neighbors. I know, I'm inviting it. Don't cry for me. One more time. Sorry, I'm holding back, and that's not what you should be doing when you do that. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you all through my wild days. And I'm singing that low intentionally just so that I can sing it a little bit softer. And I was holding back as much as I could, but I mean, I can project. And I just don't like the criticism. And that's what I think people are most apprehensive of. Like when Nicole Scherzinger got up there, yeah, she killed it. And they called it out right then and there. But I'm wondering to myself, how often does she feel stage fright? Because I saw the movie of Poppy with Todrick Hall. Yeah, that woman, that former Pussycat Doll, does she still get stage fright? I want to know that. Because let's be real. Yeah, you got these people who turn it into, like Bocelli. I think it's Andrea Bocelli, if I remember right. Why can't I remember? He's a world-renowned tenor and world-celebrated. Like the one that I know off the top is Jubilant Sykes, a world-celebrated baritone because he visited my junior high. True story. Like professional singers visit junior highs. They make an impact. If I didn't get inspired to sing, I wouldn't have had a saving grace in my hard times. And to this day, I still want to thank Jubilant Sykes. But I wonder, do people like Nicole Scherzinger, who is one of the more versatile of all of the performers out there? I mean, gosh, why can't I remember her name? Showgirls. Played beside Beyonce, but has a much better voice. Oh, and she's a sweetheart too. I can't remember her name, and I feel bad about that. But I wonder if when they get up on stage, even after all these years, and after all that professional refinement into just such quality and capability. Sorry, there is nothing more attractive to me than living in what you love and doing it damn good. Like, let me tell you something. There's confidence. But we're not going to get into that. That's a whole different topic. I've literally written books on it. And maybe one of these days they'll get published. I just got to refine them because, new information. And plus, I wrote those like 10 years ago. Yeah, I've been writing books since I was in my 20s. Writing books, you get to hide behind something. Online, so many betas are brave now because they're online. And it's just like, okay, we're seeing people's character because they have the anonymity to make them feel brave. Brave is getting up on stage every damn time and just delivering. God, I love Nicole Scherzinger. You have no idea. Like, I have yet to be disappointed by her performances, capability, personality. Like, when I say professional crush, like, she's just an all-around amazing person. But on top of that, she could sing and dance. Good Lord. No, and I mean, this isn't one of those crushes like, oh my gosh, I'm a 15-year-old and she's hot. This is one of those, like, it's absolute admiration for both her drive and capabilities. Like, when you push yourself and you achieve it, damn. And then you maintain achieving it. Like, you're not just a one-hit wonder. But we expect one-hit wonders. Like, that's one thing that I tell people all the time is, I'm not a one-trick pony. When I keep pulling off, like, how did you do that? Oh, that was just once. No, it's been like 12 times. And I wonder, like, I'm socially inept. Like, I was born that way. I was born to be a little bit more like me. And it was a long learning curve to develop empathy, to develop social understanding, recognition, and all that. And I still slip up here and there, but it's usually based on trauma. Like, the only time the mask slips off is during trauma. I drank way too much coffee, my mouth is dry. But I wonder if Nicole Scherzinger still gets stage fright. I really do. Now I'm going back inside to train a little bit more and build up my voice to where I'm worthy of recognition again. You're going to see something impressive soon enough. Just need to go a little bit further and get a little bit better of an environment. Anyway, it's 16 minutes. Y'all stay safe and have an amazing kickoff to your weeks.